Hey, this is Notser, and this is Untitled. This week, we're going to be discussing the Developer Diary 2017. There was a video that was released, I think, honestly, a week ago at this point, and it was discussing what they intend to do in the near future. And I want to talk about that. I don't even know if I remember the video, but I do remember some of the highlights, so I'll touch on that. Also, I am going to be streaming on Tuesday. Yes, you heard that right, Tuesday. I'm not going to be doing World of Warships. I'm still going to be streaming Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday World of Warships. Tuesday, though, I would like to stream new release games and old PC games, like old PC games, or old games in general, and just a casual day to have fun. If you're interested in that at all, come join us. This week, I'm going to be doing something related to either Crimson Skies, Outlaws, Medal of Honor Allied Assault, or Halo Combat Evolved. I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing, but those are great games for me, personally. They are a significant part of my PC heritage. Obviously, Halo Combat Evolved is, well, you could play Halo Combat Evolved on the PC. Yeah, Notser. But yeah, those are games that made a significant impact in my life, and I, like to talk about it. Finally, I have been streaming, and I want to get your input. Actually, you know what? This is my question. What do you look for in content for World of Warships? I see people have maybe more views or less views. Some people do it more often than I do. Thumbnails, all this stuff. I'm just really interested to get your opinion on things. So, the Developer Diary. Yes, the Developer Diary hit, I believe, Monday or Tuesday, and it was a video, a 3-minute video, and it was talking about what will be coming in the future. And they teased that the Queen will be getting a new line, and that, of course, is related to the Brits, even though technically the Queen was not in power during the time of World War I or II. Her father was. So, yeah, come on. Focus on the history. But most people are going to associate Queen with the current, and that's going to be great. Also, they teased French lines. Now, after streaming a couple days, people have told me they talked about two potential French lines. And one of the questions that the stream always asks me, what do you think the lines will be? And we obviously have the Soviet destroyers, and there was a picture of a Soviet destroyer that had a guided missile, I don't know what you would call it, housing. I don't know what guided missiles sit in, but it was on the deck of the ship. And they also discussed armament. There's going to be a new armament brought to the game. And I have heard that Earl Grey has talked to one of the developers, and they vehemently denied that they would add guided missiles into the game. So, what could that be? Now, for me, it's obviously mines will be one of them. I think mines are a safe bet. I don't know how they're going to incorporate them in the game. Maybe there's going to be an assault defend mode. There's not a lot of opportunities to put mines out that the opponent is going to go over it. You would have to be in a defensive posture, and that doesn't happen all the time. How are you going to guarantee that? Maybe if mines were a bonus, maybe they were a part of a specific line, maybe the British Battleship or British destroyers, that was one of their new consumables. I don't know, maybe. But I could also see dumbfired missiles. Missiles, for all intents and purposes, are just like torpedoes. They carry a charge, and they use a propulsion. They don't have a quick... Obviously, they don't get to the target as quick as something kinetic coming out of a gun, but they still get to the target. And I could definitely see an application of a dumb missile that used the same sort of torpedo system and went towards the enemy. That could be a possibility. Maybe it moves faster than a torpedo, but you can see it in midair. So you could get a scenario where oh crap, it's coming right at me, and you're doing everything to dodge, and you know it's coming. It's just coming really quickly. That might be pretty cool. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to overreact until I see it. As far as the ships are concerned, they've talked about 50 ships. 50 ships will be coming in 2017. And I hope everyone... Well, let me just reveal to you the secrets of the universe. Wargaming likes to release brand new premiums once every 2 to 3 weeks. Or a premium every 2 to 3 weeks. Brand new is subjective. I would say the Graf Spee is a brand new premium. But a ship like the Leningrad is not. It's just a sort of a reskin of a Kiev with a little bit different stats. But 50 ships, okay. Most lines are anywhere between 7 to 8 ships. They talk about introducing the Soviet destroyers, so we're going to get 3 from the Soviet destroyers. We're clearly getting either a battleship line, a cruiser line, and it's probably going to be a cruiser line. They probably really liked the way the Brits came in with the cruiser first. They could go 1 to 10 cruisers, and just focus on that, and then all the offshoots after that, you know? So I'm predicting that the first French line is going to be a cruiser line. Well, that's going to be 10 ships there. So we're at 13. If the British battleships come in, then we're up to somewhere in the neighborhood of 20. And if there's another French line that comes out, it's not going to be 10, obviously, because you've already done cruiser. It's not going to be an aircraft carrier, so it's a battleship or destroyer, and that's another 7. So we're at about 27 ships, give or take, just in new content. I also expect that there's going to be a couple new U.S. cruisers, because they're going to supplement it when they tweak the U.S. cruiser line. It can't come fast enough, honestly. The tiers 6, 7, 8, and 9, honestly, they really drop off compared to other cruiser lines, but I've got plenty of content. I'm okay. So, let's say we're up to 30, right? We're up to 30 ships that we can account for at this point. Well, there's 20 unaccounted for ships. And those 20 unaccounted for ships is roughly 1 ship every 2 weeks. That falls in line with premium and how they release premium content in World of Warships. So I think we've solved the problem. I think that's about where all 50 ships are coming from. That sounds reasonable. I would love to see an Italian ship come in. I would love to see maybe a aircraft carrier for a non-Japanese or American. That would be interesting. I think they've been holding out for armor-piercing bombs to do a dedicated aircraft line for armor-piercing, and it'll either be the Brits or it'll be someone else. I cannot see the Brits being the first aircraft carrier line that comes in. They've got the most complete aircraft carrier line other than the Japanese and the Americans. And even those two, the Japanese and the Americans, they could stand to put 3 or 4 into the game. I don't think that's going to happen. But there's plenty of aircraft carriers for those two factions to fill out at least another line. So we've got a pretty good blueprint of what's coming. Soviet destroyers, British battleships, I think, French battleships, and French cruisers. And it's probably going to go Soviet destroyer, British battleship, well, maybe even French cruisers. They might break it and put 2 out fairly close to each other. I just don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to go I think they're going to go, I think they're going to go Soviet destroyer. I think they will go French cruiser, just because I feel like they want to spread it out so it's not French cruiser, French battleship. They'll go British battleship and then French battleship. That's my prediction. I don't have any information. I'm just pulling it out of all the information that I can read for myself. I don't have any insider information. And even if I did, I couldn't admit that I did. So, and I probably wouldn't be as upfront as I am if I did have that information. So the game seems pretty healthy from that standpoint. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm working on the Santa Convoy, and Santa Convoy is going well. I've got about 3 days left. I expect to be able to complete it. But let's move on to the Tuesday stream. Now, I know most of you don't watch me stream it. I understand that. But what I really like is I like talking to you guys. And whenever I bring up old games, there is a certain amount of people that are interested in talking about it. And I'm right there with you. And I would really like to add another stream day, if possible. I mean, as many as I could get. I really like old PC games. I feel like old PC games don't get the love that they deserve. There's plenty of people on Twitch that play old retro console games, but X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, X-Wing, Jedi Dark Forces. You've got, of course, all the Medal of Honor stuff. What is it? Command and Conquer? Yes, Command and Conquer. Star. All these old games really don't get a lot of play because they're PC. Well, what's wrong with PC games? I've got the setup to do it. Maybe some of you don't have the game anymore. Maybe you want to reminisce or just chill out. That's really what I'm going to try and do on Tuesday. And also, if it's a new game, it's an excuse to play the game at least one day so you can see it. I feel like my opinion is upfront with you. I'm not lying to you. I hope that you come to my content and you say, Notser's straight with me. He's never deceptive with his presentation. I try not to be. If I am, please tell me. I try to be as upfront with my opinion as I possibly can be. Outside of breaking NDA. But even then, I'll break NDA, sort of. Not really. I'll be coy about it, okay? So hopefully Tuesday's going to be fun. I'm hoping it's going to be fun. I hope the game doesn't break. That's the only scary thing. It's an old PC game, Notser. It might break. That's true. That is true. So, what was the last thing we were going to talk about? Ah, yes. My presentation content. So, you notice I did Anchors Away. Anchors Away, for anyone who doesn't know, it's 2 games. It's an extended look at something. But I also recognize that people don't have quite the amount of time that I do to watch content. So what I've been thinking about, and I've also been thinking about my thumbnails, I've been thinking about trying to cut the fat a little bit. I know there are definitely people who want to see the stats, and that's not going away. But would you prefer if I get a little bit closer to the start of the game? Do you think that the stats detract from my presentation? I like that I'm giving you real stats from the game, like my build. I value that, and I don't know if I need to say it. That these are questions that I'm curious about. I want your opinion. For instance, my average video is probably 10 to 20 minutes long, and that's about double the average watch time that people feel comfortable just picking up. So if I were to cut out a little bit of the fat at the beginning, just a little bit, not too much, and maybe shorten my outro, I could cut a couple minutes and make the videos a little bit more bite-sized. What do you think? There are also people that I'll watch 6 hours of your content. I get that. I appreciate that, but you must understand, you are a minority compared to most people. Now, my thumbnails are different. They have done studies on this stuff. They've recognized that people are more inclined to click on a thumbnail if it has a human face in it. They also have seen all this stuff. What do you think of my thumbnails? I try to be professional with my thumbnails. There is a particular person that I respect, Total Biscuit. He does the same sort of a very professional thumbnail with the title and everything included in the thumbnail so you can visualize it without having to go and look at the title, because sometimes the title gets cut off, right? So that was what I was thinking as far as my thumbnails are concerned. But what do you think? I care about your opinion. I know we need more user replays. We want to see more user replays. I agree. I need to hit that every week. Absolutely 100% need to do that every single week and try and double up. But I think if I can cut some of the time off of my video, the excess, the travel time, I think the videos will work out better for everyone. So I really appreciate any support you can give me. Any feedback, anything. I've heard people want to see my setup, and I definitely want to show you my setup. I think that would be fun. I also have obviously tried other games. I just want to know what you think. I care a lot about your opinion. Because without you, I'm nothing. So I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.